You've tried to bring it up 3 times, maybe more. The house, the will, who has power of attorney, what happens if something goes wrong, and every single time Dad changes the subject or gets defensive or tells you he's fine and doesn't need help. I'm going to give you the framework today that actually works, and I'm going to tell you why most families get this completely wrong. Before you can have this conversation effectively, you need to understand what's actually happening when your parent shuts it down. It's almost never what it looks like on the surface. When Dad says, "I'm fine," he's not lying. In his mind, he is fine. Because the alternative, acknowledging that he might not be fine forever, means confronting his own mortality, his loss of independence. That's not denial. That's a completely human response to an unbearable thought. The families who have this conversation successfully almost never lead with the practical stuff. The house, the money, the documents. They lead with something else entirely. The most common mistake is the logistics first approach. Adult child sits down and opens with, "We need to talk about what happens if you can't live here anymore." Dad immediately hears, "We're planning to take over your life." Conversation over. The second mistake is the crisis trigger approach. Waiting until something bad happens. A fall, a healthcare crisis forces the conversation at the worst possible time, when everyone is scared, when decisions have to be made fast. I watched this happen in my own family. I watched this happen over and over again with the houses that I used to flip. That experience is a big part of why I wrote the book. Part 1, the framework that works: lead with legacy, not logistics. Instead of "what happens if something goes wrong," try, "Dad, I've been thinking about everything you've built. I want to make sure we honor that the right way. Can we talk about what matters most to you?" Part 2, give them control of the timeline. "I want to make sure you get to make these decisions, not a hospital or a court." Lands completely different than "we need to figure out what to do with your situation." Part 3, separate the conversations. Don't cover everything in one sitting. Pick one topic, have it, let it sit, come back. 5 smaller conversations over 3 months beats one big blow up every time. If they still won't engage, some parents won't engage no matter how well you approach it. You can plant seeds, you can come back, you can bring in a third party they respect, a doctor, an attorney, a financial advisor. What you can do is make sure your side is in order. Document what you know, understand your legal tools, know the options so when the window opens, you're ready to move. That's exactly what the blueprint helps with. The Unheard Conversation is the book I wrote specifically for this moment. 103 pages, you can read it in one sitting. It gives you the actual language, the specific words and frameworks for starting and keeping this conversation going. Link is in the description. $9.99 for the ebook. And if you want to talk through your specific situation, book a free strategy call. Every family's dynamic is different.